training that you do over the warm-up. Okay? The warm-ups last from probably 10 minutes to 15 minutes depending on the sport that you're doing and obviously how hard you're training. Okay? I'm going to do a very, very short, condensed warm-up so people understand what we do. We actually do probably 10 to 12, 15 minute warm-up. That's what you should be looking at anyway. Okay? We've done the formal bout. Okay? So if we're going to be looking at warming the body up, we're going to start from the head and work all the way down. Okay? First move is very important to understand when you do any warm-up, you never bounce and you only stretch your own capability and your own threshold. Okay? So from there we're going to stretch our head. So the first move is we're going to turn, look to our left. Not the best profile, but there you go. And we're going to turn to the right. Again, remember what you're doing. If you're doing this, your head is on a pivot and it's going to be turning around, so you never bounce this way. You're just going to hold and you can feel the stretch here this way. That's where you're stretching. Okay? And then you're going to turn the opposite side and you can feel the stretch there this way. You never bounce. Okay? Your chin goes forward, nice and relaxed, again, so you're not bouncing. Just chin forward, and then again forward, look to your left, and then we're going to change look to the right. And again, chin forward. Okay, now from there, we're going to warm our shoulders up, so big circles, all the way around, nice and big. Keeping your arms as straight as you possibly can, and just rotating around. You don't have to go too fast, you don't want to take off. And then you're coming round, and then you're going to go all the way forward. So again, this is stretching the front side of your stretch. Big circles all the way around, and then we're going to change this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you notice I'm not pushing my chest forward. All I'm doing is letting my arms warm up, and then we're going to alternate it. One arm goes up, this one comes down. Then we're going to change it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, the warm from your shoulders is vitally important. Okay. Now from there, from your hips, nice and relaxed. Again, keeping your feet facing forward, and then change the opposite side. Again, you're not bouncing, never bounce, just stretch. From that position up, now we're going to be stretching the opposite side, so keep your arm up and use that to fall over. Again, this is stretching this part of your body. So again, keeping your legs straight, feet forward, and again, stretching this way. You stretch your own capability, no one else's. Okay, now from there you're going to stretch back, this way, keeping your feet forward, and stretching back again. Again, you're not flinging your arms out this way. Okay, it's just nice and controlled, holding it. Okay, and from there, we're going to stretch that front leg, stretching out this way. Front leg goes there, your back leg is locked onto the front of your leg, this way, stretching. You're not bouncing, stretch it there, keep your body straight up, holding that for 5, and then going back to here onto your heel. And this is stretching the back of your calf muscle, your hamstring, and then just nice and relaxed. Again, you don't bounce, you put pressure on it there. Your toes must stay up straight, keeping them there. And again, forward stretching. You'd hold that for 10, you've done 5, and then 10, and then going back to this position. And then we do the opposite side, onto the ball of your foot, back leg straight, keeping your body straight up, not leaning. I hate seeing students this way. Might as well just go home. Keep your body straight up. From there, onto your heel, stretching. And again, onto the front leg, back leg straight. So you're stretching the front quad here this way, nice and relaxed. Again, not leaning, body up. Last one to here, stretch. Okay, from there, turning our feet forward, hands flat forward. Again, you're stretching to your own capabilities and your own threshold. Vitally important that don't overstretch. Relax your body, hands down this way. You want to have your hands, basically, if possible, in line with your legs so you feel a stretch. If you're not that flexible, put your hands here and then you can bring them back. Depends how far you want to bring them back to. Okay, so we're holding it there. Then from there we're going to bring our feet in this way, so our elbows are tucking into our knees. As we push our backside down, we're pushing the knees out. So we're stretching there, so you can feel that stretch. You're holding that for 10. Again, down to your own flexibility and your own threshold. Then just coming up, leg straight, hands straight. From there we're going to just rotate our hip to this position here. So if you see this front leg is straight, this one is there, and you're just keeping that leg straight. And that's stretching the back of your calf muscle and your knee. And from there you're just going to push and you're going to change to this position. So we're doing the opposite side. So it's important that you do both sides so you're balancing these stretching out. So you're changing from there, and we're going to do rotation. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is rotating on, stretching on the inside of your groin, okay, which is vitally important when you're training. Okay, now from there, as you go for that position there this way, keeping your feet forward this way, stretching, but keep this foot flat this time, so you're stretching a different side. Now as you go from there, again stretching a different side, so your toes are pointing up. Okay, last time from there, stretch, pushing right back this time now, you can feel that stretch, and then from there bounce across, keep your toes up. From this position here, onto the floor, nice flat, smile yourself up. And there, stretching your hips, hip flexors. So from here, keeping your feet into your groin, use your feet to here, just bouncing out, and then from there, use your elbows, push down. You'll feel a stretch. To stretch inside now, isometrics, just close your legs up, push up. And you're going to keep that pressure there for maybe 5. So you count down to 5 and then relax and loosen off. And then again, stretching down, hold for 5, hip flexing, and then loosen off. Okay, from there, legs come out straight, loosen your legs off, vitally important. From there, bringing one leg back to this position. This is called the hurdle. Okay, for obvious reasons, you look as though you're jumping over a hurdle. Okay, body straight up. The most important thing here now is you're keeping this leg still. Toes pointing up to the ceiling. Never cheat and bring your knee up. It's far easier just to go to there and you can feel the stretch. That's all you need to do because you feel a good stretch. So don't cheat by going, you've got your head on your knee there. Don't. Keep your body straight up, chest forward. Keeping it there and you're holding your legs still. Counting down from 5. You do 5 and then 10 and then 15. And then from there rotate to the opposite side, stretching this side of your body out. And then one more time stretch it forward. So this hand comes from here to the opposite side and you're stretching, you can feel that stretch all up your leg. Again, important to do the opposite side, body straight up, keeping this knee forward, stretching, keeping your body straight, and then turning back. So you do this a number of times. Okay, from there, hips forward, legs apart, just down to your right leg, hold your body down, 1, 2, up to 5, then change to your left, up to 5, forward, hold that for 5, and then you change it again. So you're alternating in this way. The last stretch would be, you bring your legs into this position there, and you're keeping this leg here. So you're keeping your legs still, head down to your knee. Bringing it up, relax as you're doing it because it's important. You see a lot of people when they stretch, you go from here, and once you hold your breath, you can't get your stomach down. Okay, so from there, big breath in, and breathing all the way, do it because otherwise you go blue. Okay, legs out again, loosen off, hold your body down, stretch it, and in, loosen up. As you're standing up this way, remember you're getting ready to practice kata, so always smarten yourself up, get your gi tidy there, get you ready this way, maybe stretch your hips this way, round, and that'll be your warm-up. Warm-ups are vital, okay? They will prevent injuries. The second most important thing is a warm down, because remember when you're warming up, you're stretching all your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles. When you finish training, always warm down. So it's exactly the same what we've just done there, but more relaxed. It's not more labour intense. You're just actually warming your muscles down. One thing I don't like seeing is when you finish training, people just walk out. Put your shoes on, keep your feet warm, put a coat on, keep your body warm. Because remember, your body, once it starts closing down very quickly, that's when you get the cramps. Okay? So finish off every time you do a good session with a nice relaxing warm down. Okay? Even a little bit of meditation does really well. Okay? That'll be the end of your warm up and your lesson for today. Hands by your side, and your feet together, and your bow. Thank you. In this section of the DVD, what we're going to be covering will be a number of basic kicks. The kicks will be performed from forward stance and Zenkutsu Hatsa, the normal fighting stance. Okay, so as normal, from yoga stance position, you're going to be stepping forward, left hand, left leg forward. So if you notice, front leg is bent, back leg is straight, body's nice and straight up, hands forward. Now, as we're going to be kicking forward, front kick, which is called Maigere. Okay, so from this position, our hands stay still. As we do this, it's vitally important that you learn and you discipline yourself not to kick this way. You see a lot of martial art people, and they tend to kick and throw the leg in this way. What we want to try and do is get you disciplined from the very start. So as you're kicking, you're keeping your guard stay this way, because your guard is important to protect yourself. Your hand is also important to follow through. So when you're keeping your stance this way, your first move is your knee will be coming up to the height that you're going to be kicking. So if we're going to be kicking Chudan, which is body, we're going to bring our knee forward, kick, and step down. Okay, and then going back to this position. This is called Maigere Kiege, which means snap kick. So from there, as you're kicking, one, and step forward. Okay, and again, as you're kicking, you kick, and step forward. So you're snapping your leg, you're snapping your kick. Okay, it's from the instep, this position, and down. Okay, you'll notice that when I kick, I don't fall. You actually find your position where you're going to be kicking and landing. One, balance, and then step forward this way. Then as you're stepping back, keeping your guard forward this way. Okay, so from there, Maigere Kiege, this way and down. Then stepping back. The next kick we're going to be practicing is called Maigere Kihome, which is a thrust kick. The difference between this kick and the last kick will be that it's a thrust kick. Rather than a snap, it's more of a thrust. In and down, using the ball of the foot as you kick. Again, you're keeping your kick, hands out this way, and forward. Again, as before, you don't kick and drop. You kick and land. Nice and relaxed, your knee comes up and down. And stepping back. You see my hands are staying still. Not this way. Because if you kick, somebody blocks you, you're going to get counted on. Okay, so from that position, kick and down. Then your basic front kicks. Maigere Kikome, Maigere Kiege. The next kick that we're going to be practicing will be Washigere, or roundhouse kick. Now as you're kicking, you've got to imagine that you're bending your leg around in a circular motion. Now you're not doing this with your hands. You're actually pivoting there, this way. So your supporting foot is important. Your supporting foot gives you that twist through. If that foot stays still, all you do is a roundhouse or a front kick with your foot turned over. This way. Okay, so as you're kicking, you're turning your body in and then back. Okay, so you're turning your hip in and then back. So that will be the fundamental start of Washigere. So your knee comes up, turn, and then back in. Now as you're kicking, this way your legs coming through and down. Okay, so your knee comes up and down. So remember, you're not snapping your leg and falling. As you're kicking, keeping your guard still and down. Keeping your guard still. But you see that my foot is actually turning as a kick. Just watch on the foot. That gives you that pivot and that hip movement there. That's your extension. So once you get from this position and down. roundhouse kick. So we have the same thing, kiege and kikome. So as you do washikere and kikome, it's more of a thrust, but with the ball of the foot. Rather than kicking with the instep here. Okay. Next kick we're going to be practicing, we'll demonstrate from here. From yowie stance, hands there this way. This is side kick or sokoto. Now, as you see the kick, the most important part is to step up. You never step behind. If you step behind, you see my hip come through, it just flicks out. Okay? So if I kick this way, I can't turn my hip over. You step behind this way, so your hip is already in place to push your hip through. So your hip square, and bringing it back. Okay, from there, step behind, keeping your hands still. Knee comes up again to the height that you're going to kick. Thrust it back and down. So the thrust is vitally important. From there, knee comes up, use your hips, and then down this way. So you're thrusting in from that position and down. You're not falling. A lot of people tend to kick and flick it. It's not a flick, it's a thrust. Kikome. So from there, hip square, in and down this way. And go back to your stance. Then your 3 basic kicking techniques. In this section of the DVD, we're going to be covering combinations. We have a set number of combinations, 1 to 10. I'm going to pick 5 combinations for the first section of this DVD, because these are the basic ones that we use from white belt onwards. Okay. So as before, we always start from the yowie stance this way. We're going to be stepping forward into forward stance, so Senkutsu-Data, which is left leg always. Now from there, we're going to be executing combination number 1. Basic combination will be from forward stance and Senkutsu-Data. We're going to be stepping forward, always uke, which means stepping forward punch. We're going to be doing jodan punch, face punch. Now there's a difference in the punching techniques. If I just demonstrate here this way. This is chudan punch. Now if you look at my fist, the way my fist is shaped this way, my hand is there this way, but my punch is always running into line of my body. If we punch over to jodan, we're punching this way through. So you'll see that my hand is turned over from this position to here. So if I turn around, it's from there to over this position there. Now if you look at my hand position now, this is quite important for people learning karate. The fist technique is important as well, because a lot of people tend to punch with the thumbs out this way. They tuck the thumbs in. If you do any of these techniques, you're going to end up with your thumb dislocated. Okay, so your hand, you make a fist this way and your hand turns over there. Now as you make your fist, you'll see that my hand is running slightly inwards. So it's from there, that position. So I'm hitting with these 2 knuckles. You never hit with these 2 knuckles. If you make impact with that, you're going to cause stress on this part of your arm. Okay, so if you're going from here, jodan, you've got your chudan punch there, your hand rises up, and if you look at my fingers, the point of impact would be my fingertips there. My knuckles on here this way. So if I hit something hard, I'm going to put impact on my forearm, stress there. So when you find people say, oh, I broke my arm, I don't even know why. When you punch somebody in the head or you punch something hard, your hand crumples up this way, and that will relate to stress here, stress fractures. So in our style of karate Shukokai, you turn your hand over slightly. So from there, you're making your punch and your arm is actually running in one continuous line. And that way, as the impact goes through, it doesn't jolt back, it actually locks to that position. So that is jodan punch. This is chudan. Your hand comes up to that position, jodan. Okay, so if I do always look at jodan punch now, from this position there, kamai, forward stance, we're going to step forward, jodan, always look at. As we step, we're doing kikite. From there, jodan back this way. From there, bringing your hand back, so your left hand comes back to your hip. From there, sharp, punch, 1. Your hand coincides with your feet movement. It's not 1, 2, okay? It must be nice, fluid and relaxation. 1, bang, you lock everything down this way. Okay, so your hand from there comes back, 1, body nice and tight. So from there, hand comes back, you guard, Jordan, and then thrust, body straight through, and stepping back, stepping through, 1, 2, thrust, and then come out, position this way. That's combination number 1. Combination number 2 is quite simple, it's just Gagazuki punch or reverse punch. Again from forward stance, left hand stance, so from Yowie stance, stepping forward into forward stance, again nice stance, front leg back leg straight, guard this way. Hips nice and relaxed, from there, pulling your hand back, punching this way. Now if you notice my feet are staying forward. You never punch this way, you never relax there. Because basically what will happen, you put stress on your back and your hip will turn in. So your back foot must never go this way. It must always be there because you're using your hip. That's your movement there, bang, hip. That's your actual dynamics. That's your dynamics into the kick, into the punch, sorry. Bang, so from there, bang. So if you look at my hand and my relaxation there, using my hip. Okay, so your hip comes through and your hip flings your punch through. That's your dynamics there. Okay, your body rotation is from the top and back. So you can see the power and back and back. That's Gagazuki punch or reverse punch. Gagazuki punch is probably one of the most used punches in karate. It can be used in combat, in kumite, when you're fighting this way. Okay, it can just be used in basics, but it's used constantly. It's the backbone of your karate techniques. So we've got Oizuki punch, we've got Gagazuki punch. Now the next one will be combination number 3. We'll go through these very quickly at the end of it. Combination number 3 from Yowie stance, stepping forward again, left hand, left leg, into Zenko Sidatsu, forward stance. Using Maiken, okay, from there, jab punch, okay? You don't just use your hand to there. We've demonstrated this punch before. It's important that you get your feedback. So your hand comes from that position. That's where you get the pull back from there. Pull, okay? From there, bring your hands in. So you get your wind up from this position there. Punch. Your wind up comes through. That's your body technique. You can feel that tension on the top of your trap here. From your pec, pushing that through, 1. Again, Jodan punch, it's not this way. From there, you're pulling back, Jodan. From there, this way, until you draw the gun. That's the best way to technique. So if you look at my hand there, as I'm moving, just rotate it through. This way, okay? So from that position, there. So if we go forward, Mike and Zucker, 1, and again, 1. Nice and relaxed, keeping your hand there, 1. Next one, 1. And then come on. Then your 3 basics, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, the next combination that we're going to be doing, we'll be doing 2 combinations, combination 4A and 4B. We'll be finishing this part on these combinations because this will be setting you up into how the combinations work. Okay, so the first combination will be 4A. So again, from your stance this way, again, relaxed stance, from there forward to left hand command. Again, nice stance. Always focus on a good stance. If your stance is poor, it means that when your technique goes through, it'll be good technique, but it'll be very weak. Okay, so your technique has got to come from your basics this way, your basic stances. So if you've got good strong legs, that's even better, because you can build up on top of that. Okay, so combination number 4A. Okay, so from this position here, keeping our guard still, we're doing Maigere Kiege, which is Maigere snap kick. As we do the front kick, 1, we're keeping our guard still, stepping down Jodan punch, and then thrust. Okay, so there from the Kamai, we're going to be doing Maigere Kiege, again, snapping Jodan punch, and stepping down. So that would be combination number 4A. So the kick comes from here, body straight through. 1, 2, and 3. And then command. Next move. 1, 2, 3. It's done in more relaxed move, but I'm breaking it down so you can actually see the technique. The combination in 4 would be from that position. Okay, so that would be a combination in 4. That's combination 4A. Combination 4B is slightly different, but it's taken from that technique. Again, looking at the stance, you're going to be doing my getter. But this time we're going to be looking at more combat. So as you're kicking this way, you're not landing. Okay? As you're kicking, you're balancing. That's why your balance is important. From there, you're bringing your knee back, jaw down punch, and then stepping down. So you've got an imaginary opponent which will be blocking your technique. From there, my getter's been blocked, jaw down punch over the top, and then step down. Okay, that's why it's important to have your balance. If you didn't have your balance and you executed the kick, you fall forward, you're going to get countered. Okay? So as you kick, keeping your guard still, my getter comes through, 1, balance, and down. Okay, so you're bringing your kicking leg back, and over the top. That's your combination 4B. And then back to your stance.